Now, if you want a challenging extension on this, we're going to show you how to create a support structure here. So I'm going to whiz through this to try and get it into a short video. The first thing that you want to do is you want to highlight the work plane around here, which we originally created, and offset that work plane by 100 mil. So we're going to come up and offset it by 100 mil. That takes us roughly to the center there. Then we want to put a 2D sketch onto the edge of that work plane. So we want the area that it cuts across here. Now if you right click now and press slice graphics, that gives us a cut through of exactly where that work plane cuts through. You want to project the cut edges, and that will give you those highlighted areas. Now before you actually do that, I'm just going to go back. I want to turn on my construction line and then project the cut edges. That will make them just as markers, which is all we want for the moment. Then I want to hit the line tool. I want to work out the center of these areas. So I'm just going to connect the centers of the circles like that. And then I'm going to connect point to center of this line like that. And do that on every single one. So center of the circle, work out where the center, see how it just jumps onto the center of that line. I'm going to do that 3 times, and where all of these intersect will be the center. Now we can use that central point and draw a circle around the outside. Now I'm going to turn off construction because I actually want this to be a line that we use, and I'm going to use that as 20. Okay, now we actually want to create this in a different place so that we can easily take the part that we create and 3D print it. So I'm going to now, you shouldn't have actually finished sketch, so I'm going to double click on that again and come back to where we just were. We were and slice graphics so that I can just go back into it. We will now want to drag over all of this, and we want to right click and copy that. Now if you go into a new document, standard MM, create that, start a new 2D sketch, and then if you right click and paste, that has dropped it in. You can't see it until you zoom all, and you'll see it's up here. We want to move that, so we're going to click on the move button here, drag over the whole lot, then select the highlight the kind of base button, click on the middle of that, and that moves it from the middle and drops it onto a point that you choose. We're going to choose the middle over here, and then click done. Finish that sketch. That's the first part. Come back to your original document here, finish that sketch, and then you want to come up to offset from plane, right click, sorry, don't right click, just drag up from that original plane that you did, drag it up 10 millimeters. And we're going to do exactly the same thing as we did before. So I'm now going to start a 2D sketch, put it on this area here. We'll kind of zoom into the area that we want, and then we're going to right click and we're going to slice graphics. That will give us this area here. You know what to do. Put on construction, project cut edges, that's there. We don't have to draw the centers, we've already got that from this point here. So now we can just click on the circle tool, take off the construction, and then highlight from the center of that circle and come out by 15. Okay, and then escape out of that tool, drag over the whole lot, right click and copy, finish your sketch, come back to the part that you've just created. We want to now offset this area. So I'm just going to open up Origin, click on the plane that we've got there, which happens to be the central one for me, and then come to offset from plane, and we want to bring that up by 10 millimeters. We're going to start a 2D sketch, click on that plane there, and then we are going to right click and paste just as we did before. Again, it's not there until we zoom all. We can see it's over here, so we just want to highlight that area, come to the move button. We've already selected it, so click on the base button. It moves it now from any point you decide. We're going to click on the center because that's the point that we can allocate. Now you've got those two areas directly aligned. Okay, so we're going to finish our sketch. Now the first thing that we want to do is we want to loft from this point to this point. So we're going to use a loft tool. We're going to select this outside circle and this upper circle. Now this will not work unless all of these inside circles are construction lines. Okay, so we've done that. There we go, that's lofted nicely. We can get rid of this or we can kind of make this plane visible, so I'm just going to right click and that makes me feel a bit better. Now we're going to turn it upside down. We are going to come around like this and we're going to put a 2D sketch on this area here. Okay, now I want to actually use one of those inside circles that we had from before. They will be inside this loft, and it's that one there, not the inside ones, this one here. Okay, that I want to then right click and I want to make it visible. So I'm just going to click on visibility there. And then I'm going to now project geometry, so this button here, sorry, I've clicked on circle, project geometry of one of these circles. And you'll need to try and remember which one you do. So we're going to click on that one there, if we can. Or maybe it will be a point that you're going to have to use. So we're going to project geometry the point. It wouldn't let me click on the circle there. And then you can now click on circle tool, make sure you've got construction off, click on that part there, and then come out by 4 millimeters. Okay, like that. That's given me my first circle. Okay, so now we want to come and do exactly the same thing on the top, but we want to be aware of where we are doing our circle. So we're going to just put a 2D sketch on the top area here. We're going to come down. Now we're going to right click on the sketch 2 in our first loft and make that visible there. Alright, and this is the part where you have to kind of make sure you're going from one area to the next. So I'm just going to kind of use my I don't often recommend that you turn things around when you're in a sketch. I'll prefer to stay in 2D when you're in a sketch, but I'm just going to have a look on here and just make sure I can see this. You might get away with making this visible. Yeah, you can kind of do that. So let's just use the face tool, bring ourselves back to here. Now it's that one there. That's the circle I've made. I just saw it. I might be able to click. There you go. If you highlight over here, you can see which one we did. So we're going to the right. You're always going to the kind of right of the original circle. So this is the one that we want to use here. So I'm going to project geometry on this circle, that central point there, come over, click a circle here, tool, out by 4 millimeters, and then finish your sketch. Now we're going to use the Loft tool one more time. So Loft, rotate round so you can see the bottom circle, okay? Escape out of orbit, or just click it again to unhighlight the tool, and then click on that circle there. That's selected the first one. Come up to the top, escape out of orbit, and select this white one there. Now it's important that you click cut, and that will then put a hole nicely through your material there. Okay, and you can see it goes all the way through there. And all that you have to do now is do that on all the other ones. So that's what I'm going to proceed to do now. So let's just get myself looking nice here, bring it round. Okay, so I feel comfortable with where I am. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to rotate this around to here. Those two sketches are still visible there for me. Escape out of my orbit tool, 2D sketch, onto this area, check geometry, click on that button there. You should be able to follow this quite easily now, making sure that's not on. Out by 4, finish that sketch, rotate it around, start a 2D sketch, put it on the top, like that. Which circle is it? Well, we just hover over this here and we can see, and we want to be going to the right, which is this one over here, okay? I think. Anyway, let's try it. Project geometry, click on that central line there, circle, tool, 4, enter, finish your sketch, Loft tool, bring yourself around so you can see that bottom area. I'm guessing you could go from top to bottom instead, save yourself a little bit of time. Hover over until you can see that white line highlight, the one that we just did, and then just hover over until you can get it. It's a bit tricky. Just keep moving until you can see it. It's going to be a little bit tricky. Maybe I'll just move my line slightly. If it does this, if it doesn't quite allow you to select the line, see the problem that it's giving me, then what I would suggest you do, just cancel, come down to here and just right click on these and turn off the visibility whilst you do the Loft. It's just getting a little bit confused with wanting to do the others. So now you can rotate back around and we should be able to do our loft with no problem in highlighting these areas. So click on that one, come back around to here, and then click in there. Can you see that's no problem? Okay. Oops, sorry, I forgot. What did I forget to do there? Anybody guess? I forgot to press the cut button. So we already have material. It was trying to add material to what is already material and it gave me a warning. So just bring it around like that, and then let's do this one more time. There we go, and then the cut button, important that you press that. And there we go. One last time. If you know what you're doing, you don't need to watch the rest of this video, but I will do it just so you can see, or you can skip right to the end. Click on this part here, remember to go back to here, right click on that and make that visible. Come to project geometry, center, circle, 4. I would then probably finish my sketch, rotate that around, start sketch, put it on here, hover over your previous sketch so you can see where it's gone. Okay, make this one, right click on that, turn that visibility on, like that. It's the only one actually left, so we can now, you have to project geometry first so you can definitely get to the center of that, otherwise it won't give you the center, it won't lock onto the center, like that. Finish that sketch, turn off the visibility of these two. Okay, and then you can just come down to, so just rotate around so you can see the bottom. Loft. And cut. And voila! There is your finished product that you can now 3D print.